Too often when it comes to transportation policy, we see a tendency to do the bare minimum. Short-term extensions, funding packages, kicking the ball down the road. For a project like Gateway, which impacts some of the most vital infrastructure in our region, we can't afford to have that type of attitude. Not when you're talking about a corridor that moves 2,000 trains a day. Not when you're talking about the mobility for millions of people in a region that produces 20% of our nation's gross domestic product. And not when you're talking about 100-year-old storm damage infrastructure that has reached and exceeded its useful life. Now, there's no time for taking the easy road, and I know that's a view shared by everyone who's standing here today. So I'm proud of the commitment this group has made to undertake a difficult effort, because it's the right thing to do for our constituents, for our region, and for the nation. I'd like to focus on what it means to have not one, but two key elements of the Gateway program admitted to the federal New Starts pipeline. Every year, Congress invests about $2 billion into the New Starts program, which helps build new infrastructure and support our nation's ever-growing transit ridership. I'm proud to serve as the ranking member of the Senate Transit Subcommittee, which has oversight of the New Starts program. And that role allowed me to see firsthand the success of New Starts in improving mobility and quality of life in communities large and small, whether it's a commuter rail line in Denver, a bus rapid transit project in Utah, or the type of project we are talking here in the New York, New Jersey region. But when it came time to start thinking about how the program could support the Portal Bridge or the Hudson River tunnels, we faced a challenge that other projects didn't. Gateway isn't a traditional transit project because it serves not only New Jersey Transit, but Amtrak riders as well. And while it may not seem like much of a distinction to us, the New Starts program wasn't designed and legally could not fund projects that include intercity rail elements. As many of you recall, New Starts was the main federal source for the ARC tunnel, something that I fought very hard with the late Senator Frank Lautenberg and Senator Schumer. We actually had a federal government commitment of $3 billion to the ARC project through the New Starts alone. The idea that we would lose access to the funding source because of a technicality was unacceptable. Fixing this problem was one of my top priorities in the transportation bill that Congress worked on last year, and I'm proud that language that I developed with Senator Schumer and Amtrak was included in the final bill signed into law, giving DOT a framework to consider joint transit and intercity rail projects for New Starts funding. In addition to the work we did on the Transit Subcommittee, Senator Booker was able to include essential reforms on the rail loan program in the bill through his role as the ranking member of the Rail Subcommittee, and we all shared with him in giving him ideas of what the provisions we needed for this particular project. Now, provisions like these are never easy to pass, particularly in a Republican Congress. Unfortunately, many of our colleagues fail to understand the importance of transit and rail in our overall transportation network. And it's a testament to the hard work of everyone here today that we're able to pass a bill that can help move the Gateway project forward. Now, it's been less than a year since the transportation bill became law, and DOT has already been able to approve the Portal Bridge, the Hudson River tunnels into the New Starts project pipeline. Access to New Starts brings with it the potential for billions of dollars of federal funding, and there's no doubt in my mind that a project with the national significance of Gateway is deserving of that type of commitment. And it's not just New Starts that we've seen progress on. We're seeing it, as Senator Schumer said, in the preservation of the right-of-way for the new tunnels in the Hudson Yards development, which was one of his most significant efforts. We're seeing it also in the DOT decision to add Gateway to the project expediting dashboard, ensuring the department will commit its full resources to bear on behalf of this project. And we're seeing it on the stakeholders. Let me just say finally, as someone who went through the process that got us $3 billion for the ARC tunnel, I think from the federal side, we are doing everything we need to do and will continue to do so. But at the end of the day, we need the two governors, and I'm glad to hear the conversation that Senator Schumer had with Governor Cuomo. And I've seen indications from Governor Christie that suggest that he is fully supportive. But at the end of the day, in order to attract all of these federal dollars, we are going to need the states of New York and New Jersey, I assume working through the Port Authority as that regional entity that was envisioned for particularly these types of programs to come through. Because only then will we know that we actually can come together and have Gateway become a reality.